Class 6, Science, Chapter 10, Motion and Measurement of Distances. Animated Science. Earlier, people had no means of transport. They went to different places on foot and carried goods either on their After the invention of steam engine, a new source of power came in existence. Railroads were formed for carrying engine carriages and wagons. Later, automobiles were invented. Boats and ships were motorized for quick transport on water. In early 1900s, there was development of aeroplanes. Later, the designs improved and these could carry passengers as well as goods. Electric trains, monorail, supersonic aeroplanes, and spacecraft are some of the 20th century contributions. How will you know whether you can walk to your school or you will have to take a bus or a rickshaw? How will you know how far you have to travel? To find out the answer, you will have to measure the distance between your house and your school. This is done by measuring the length between the two places. This is done by a term called measurement. The length of small objects like a pen, pencil is measured in centimeters. The length of a longer object like a desk or your room is measured in meters. And the length between two places, that is your home and your school, will be measured in kilometers. Measurement means the comparison of an unknown quantity with some known quantity. The known fixed quantity is called a unit. The result of a measurement is expressed in two parts. One part is a number. The other part is the unit of the measurement. Example: suppose the distance between your house and your school is 10 kilometers. The number 10 forms one part, unknown quantity, and kilometer is the unit or fixed quantity. Units of measurement. The system of units used nowadays is known as the International System of Units. The SI unit of length is meter and it is denoted by the symbol m. For example, in a meter scale, each meter or m is divided into 100 equal divisions called centimeter or cm. Therefore, 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. For example, the length of this guitar is 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. Each centimeter or cm has 10 equal divisions called millimeter or mm. That is, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. Large distances like distance between your home and your school or distance between two cities or two countries cannot be measured in meters. Hence, we use a larger unit of length called kilometer. It is denoted by the symbol km. Each kilometer is divided into 1000 equal divisions called meter or m. Therefore, 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. Instruments used for measuring length. Have you ever observed a tailor using a measuring tape to take measurements? Whereas a carpenter uses a different measuring tape. Why are these instruments different? For measuring the length of an object, we must choose a suitable device in order to get accurate results. Ancient methods of measurement. In the ancient times, different body parts such as length of the foot, width of the finger, distance of a step, length from the elbow to the fingertips, hand span were used to measure length. Hand. A hand was approximately 5 inches or 5 digits, fingers across. Today, a hand is 4 inches and is used to measure horses, from the ground to the horse's withers or shoulder. Hand span. A span was the length of the hand stretched out, about 9 inches. Foot. In ancient times, the foot was 11 and 1/42 inches. Today, it is 12 inches, the length of the average man's foot. Yard. A yard was originally the length of a man's belt or girdle, as it was called. In the 12th century, King Henry I of England fixed the yard as the distance from his nose to the thumb of his outstretched arm. Today, it is 36 inches, about the distance from nose to outstretched arm of a man. Cubit. In ancient Egypt, people used cubit as the unit of measurement. The cubit was the length of the forearm from the elbow to the tip of the middle finger. Today, a cubit is 18 inches. Lick. A lick was used by the Greeks to measure the distance from the tip of the thumb to the tip of the index finger. Pace. The ancient Roman soldiers marched in paces, which were the length of a double step, about 5 feet. 1,000 paces was a mile. Today, a pace is the length of one step, 2.5 to 3 feet. In ancient India, small length measurements used were an angul or finger or the muthi or fist. However, everyone's body parts could be of different sizes. This caused confusion in measurement, which led to the creation of a standard unit of measurement called the metric system or the SI system. Accurate measurement of length. Length is the measurement of something from one end to the other. While measuring length of any object, always read a ruler in a direct line, not at an angle. Place the scale in contact with the object along its length. In some of the scales, the ends may be broken. You may not be able to see the zero mark clearly. In such cases, you should avoid taking measurements from the zero mark of the scale. You can use any other full mark on the scale. For example, let's take 1 centimeter as the starting mark. Now, note the reading at the other end. Then you must subtract the reading of this mark from the reading at the other end. For example, reading at one end is 1 centimeter. Reading at the other end is equal to 15.6 centimeters. Therefore, the length of the object is 15.6 minus 1 is equal to 14.6 centimeters. Hence, the length of the object is 14.6 centimeters. Correct position of the eye is also important for taking measurement. Your eye must be exactly in front of the point where the measurement is to be taken, as shown in the figure. Position B is the correct position of the eye. Note that from position B, the reading is 7.5 centimeters. From positions A and C, the readings may be different. Measuring the length of a curved line. We cannot measure the length of a curved line directly by using a meter scale. We can use a thread to measure the length of a curved line AB. Take a non-stretchable string or a thread and tie a knot at one of its ends. Place the knotted end of the thread at one end of the curved line. Holding the thread steadily with your fingers and stretch it along the curved line until you reach the other end. Now make a mark on the thread where it reaches the other end. Finally, place the thread along a meter scale and measure the length between the knot and the marked point. This gives the length of the curved line. Motion. You may have observed the motion of a vehicle on the road or a bird flying. Motion is defined as some kind of change in the position of an object with time. There are 3 kinds of motion: rectilinear motion, circular motion, and periodic motion. Rectilinear motion. Motion in a straight line is called rectilinear motion. For example, car on a straight road, march past of soldiers in a parade, water falling from a height. Circular motion. A circular motion in which an object moves in circles such that the distance from a fixed point remains the same. For example, blades of a moving fan, giant wheel moving, movement of the planets around the sun. Periodic motion. A to and fro motion that repeats itself after a period of time is called periodic motion. For example, motion of a pendulum, motion of a child on the swing, branch of a tree moving to and fro. Can an object undergo more than one motion at the same time? A ball rolling on ground shows both rotational or circular as well as rectilinear or moving forward motion. A sewing machine remains at the same location while its wheel moves with a circular motion. It also has a needle that moves up and down, undergoing a periodic motion.